Hello everyone, welcome back to a brand new video. Today I'm going to talk about obviously Avatar Fire and Ash. Excuse me for my voice because it's gone. It's completely gone, but that's okay. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, today I'm going to talk about Avatar Fire and Ash. So this is an upcoming American epic science fiction film co-produced, co-edited and directed by James Cameron, who co-wrote the screenplay with Rick Jaffa and Amanda Silver from a story trio wrote with Joss Friedman and Shane Salerno. Produced and distributed by the 20th Century Studios, it is the sequel to Avatar The Way of Water and the original Avatar film, and the third installment in the Avatar film series. Cast members include Sam Worthington, Zoe Saldana, Sigourney Weaver, Stephen Lang, Cliff Curtis, Britton Dalton, Trinity Jolie Bliss, Jack Champion, Bailey Bass, Kate Winslet, Joel David Moore, CCH Pounder, Giovanni Ribisi, Tilly Rao, Matt Geralt, Eddie Flacco, Brandon Cowell, Jermaine Clement, Philip Gaujo, and Dwayne Evans Jr. reprise the roles from previous films, while Una Chaplin and David Thewlis portray new characters. So, alright. Cameron, who stated in 2006 that he would like to make sequels to Avatar from 2009 if it was successful, announced the first two sequels in 2010, following the success of the first film, with the 10 entitled Avatar 3 aiming for a 2015 release. However, addition of two more sequels, four in total, and the development of new technology required to film performance capture scenes underwater, a feat never accomplished before, led to significant delays to allow the crew more time to work on the writing, production, and visual effects. Avatar Fire and Ash started shooting simultaneously with Avatar The Way of Water in New Zealand on September 25th, 2017. Damn, that's a while ago. 7 years ago. Damn, that's insane. Filming completed in late December 2020 after over 3 years of shooting. Damn, that's bloody mental. The film's theatrical release has been subject to 9 delays, with the latest occurring on August 9th, 2024. It is scheduled for release in the United States on the 19th of December 2025. Two additional sequels, Avatar 4 and 5, are in various stages of productions and are expected to be released in 2029 and 2031. Holy shit. That is insane. In 6 years' time. That's bloody insane. Alright, the premise of the film. 1 year after settling in with the Metkani clan, Jake and Neytiri family grapples with grief after the Tamis' death. Eventually, they encounter a new aggressive Navi tribe called the Ash People, led by the fiery tribe leader Varang, who has allied with Jake's enemy, Curich, as the conflict on Pandora escalates to devastating consequences. In 2006, James Cameron stated that if Avatar was successful, he hoped to make two sequels to the film. In 2010, he said that the film's widespread success confirmed that he would do so. The sequels were originally scheduled for release in December 2014 and to begin work once the novel is nailed down. The sequels were confirmed as continuing to follow the characters of Jake and Neytiri in December 2009. Cameron implied that the humans would return as the antagonists of the story. In 2011, Cameron stated that his intention to film the sequels at a higher frame rate than the industry standard 24 frames per second in order to add a heightened sense of reality. In 2013, Cameron announced that the sequels would be filmed in New Zealand, with performance capture to take place in 2014. An agreement with the New Zealand government required at least one world premiere to be held in Wellington and at least 500 million New Zealand dollars to be spent on production activity in New Zealand, including live action filming and visual effects. The New Zealand government announced it would raise its baseline tax rebate for filmmaking from 15% to 20%, with 25% available to international productions in some cases and 40% for New Zealand productions. So that's interesting. So, alright, in February 2016, production of the sequels were scheduled to begin in April 2016 in New Zealand. So, obviously, crew members for the four sequels, obviously, founder of Performance Freediving International, Kirk Crack, worked as a freediving trainer for the cast and crew for the underwater scenes. On July 31st, 2017, it was announced that the New Zealand based visual effects studio Weta Digital had commenced work on the Avatar sequels. Rick Jaffa and Amanda Silver were originally announced as Cameron's co-writers. It was later announced that Cameron, Jaffa, Silver, Joss Friedman, and Shane Salerno took part in the writing process of all the sequels before being assigned to finish the separate scripts, making the eventual writing credits unclear. According to Cameron, this film was split off from Avatar: The Way of Water because the original conception of that film had too much material. Cameron stated, "In a nutshell, we had too many great ideas packed into Act 1 of movie 2. The film was moving like a bullet train. We weren't drilling down enough on character. So I said, guys, we've got to split it up." In November 2018, BBC News reported Avatar: The Seedbearer was a potential title for the film after getting a scoop from the future plans. 3 months later, Cameron told Entertainment Tonight that it is the consideration and no final decision was made at that time. On the 9th of August 2024, so last year, the official title of the film was revealed by Cameron as Avatar: Fire and Ash at the D23 fan convention. Cameron said of the title, "I don't think I could say too much about it until you actually see the film and see what it means. But if you think of fire as hatred, anger, violence, that sort of thing, and ash is the aftermath, so what's the aftermath? Grief, loss, right? And then what does that cause? In the future, more violence, more anger, more hatred. It's a vicious cycle, so that's the thinking." Cameron wanted to explore different cultures from the first Avatar films by including ash people, fiery versions of the Na'vi. He chose them to add another angle as enemies because Cameron previously took Na'vi good sides and humans on another. There are good humans and there are bad humans. The same thing about Na'vi. So often, sometimes people see themselves as bad, but what is the root cause of how they evolve into what they perceive as bad? Maybe there are other factors that we weren't aware of. Cameron said that one thing we wanted to do in this film, not to be black and white simplistic or blue and pink simplistic, trying to evolve beyond the all humans are bad, all Na'vi are good paradigm. The film also introduces wind traders, who Cameron explained are nomadic traders equivalent to the camel caravans of the Spice Road back in the Middle Ages. And they're just fun. Like all Na'vi, they live in a symbiosis with their creatures. The big advance in Fire and Ash, this just going to be greater character depth. Cameron said, "We're seeing new cultures, new creatures, all the same stuff you expect from an Avatar movie. But the whole idea of this cycle of films is to live with these people and go on this epic journey with them. So I think it's not about we're going to show you the best water ever done, but you get more into the heart and soul of the characters. There's some very interesting new characters that come in as well. This is a journey over time. It will play out through movie 3 into movie 4 and movie 5. It is an epic cycle to the whole thing." So Champion said of reading the script of Fire and Ash, "I was very shocked by it. It just takes a hard left turn, and that's not a bad thing. You think you know where it's going, but then a wrecking ball comes, so you're completely like, oh wow, I never thought that would have happened." You also see more regions of Pandora, and you get introduced to more cultures. Then think it's even better than Avatar 2. Collectively, they'll each get better. So that's interesting. Alright. Avatar: Fire and Ash is scheduled to release on December 19th, 2025 by 20th Century Fox. Like its predecessor, the film was subject to multiple delays, in this case 9 in total, since the crew took more time on the writing, pre-production, and visual effects process. It was originally scheduled for December 2015, until Cameron pushed the release to 2016, 2017, and 2018. In April 2016, coinciding, I don't know, with the launch for 4 Avatar sequels, a new release date of December 2020 was announced. In December 2022, shortly after Way of Water was released, it was stated that James Cameron's first cut of Avatar Fire and Ash had a running time of 9 hours. Holy damn. Cameron later clarified that the 9 hours of material referred to Avatar Fire and Ash, after 4 and 5 being each 3-hour films for a total of 9 hours. He later specified that the runtime for Avatar Fire and Ash would be longer than 3 hour and 12 minute runtime for Avatar The Way of Water. Holy damn, that's insane. I can't believe that Avatar is like, this is a spectacle, right? This is one of those films that goes down in history. Every single person knows of Avatar, but not a lot of people know about its production side, right? Yeah, casual viewers, people that I know that just are into films and not really, specifically know about the time that was put into, these films. That's just wow. Like Avatar, the film is like 3 hours. Avatar: The Way of Water is 3 hours and 12 minutes. This film, Fire and Ash, will be longer. That's insane. That's like almost 3 hours and a half maybe in the cinemas. And I can't expect Avatar 4 or 5 just to go like 3 hours and maybe 40 minutes, and maybe the last one will be 4 hours. That's insane. Like a film of 4 hours. Like the only film that I know of, which is Zack Snyder's Justice League, is also 4 hours. That's insane. So Cameron revealed in the 2023 interview with 20 Minutes that the film would feature a new Na'vi tribe called the Ash People, who will be the antagonist of the film. In late July 2025, the trailer was officially released exclusively in theaters before the screening of Fantastic Four First Steps, and online on July 28, 2025 at 8 a.m. PT. The trailer received positive responses from critics and fan sites, particularly focusing on the visuals. I also saw the trailer. I was pleasantly surprised. I watched the Fantastic Four First Steps film, and I was like, hold up, wait a minute. There's this trailer for Avatar, and nobody's seen it. Like, I know that studios do that sometimes. That when they have new films, they release the trailer before like another film of the same company. Like, obviously, Fantastic Four is from Disney, and Avatar is also from Disney. And obviously, we have we also had a couple of other trailers, like the Freaky Friday trailer was also in there, and also the new Tron trailer was also before Fantastic Four. And I was like, I saw the trailer popping up, I saw the little screen, the little text saying Avatar Fire and Ash trailer coming December, and I was like, wait a second, I haven't seen this one online, and people haven't seen this one online. And I said, shit, okay. So I watched the 2 minutes and 2 minutes of that trailer, and I was like pleasantly surprised. Like, the film looks so good, or the trailer, I guess. But hey, there we go. Fire and Ash is the second of 4 planned sequels to Avatar. Although the last 2 sequels had been reportedly greenlit, Cameron stated in November 26th, 2017 interview, let's face it, if Avatar 2 and 3 don't make enough money, there's not going to be a 4 and 5. Later confirmed this in February 2018, stating they're making 2 and 3 to go and see if people go and see them. They'll make 4 and 5. So obviously Sigourney Weaver stated in November 2018, after the first 2 sequels had completed main photography, that she was currently busy doing Avatar 4 and 5, which several media outlets interpreted as confirmation that the last 2 sequels started filming. In January 2019, in face of the proposed acquisition of the 21st Century Fox by the Walt Disney Company, Disney CEO Bob Iger confirmed that both Avatar 4 and 5 were being developed and had not been officially greenlit. According to producer John Landau, in February 2019, Iger may have been misinterpreted, I think. Hopefully I pronounced that right. Damn, my voice is just rough, so maybe my pronunciations are not that well. He said that Avatar 4 and 5 are not officially greenlit, but also a third of the 4 has already been filmed. So that's nice. So that was in 2019. In September 2022, at the D23 Expo, Cameron announced that the production for Avatar 4 had officially begun. In January 2024, Cameron stated that he will not start filming the remainder of Avatar 4 until Fire and Ash releases. That's interesting. That's very, very interesting. Like James Cameron, he has such an interesting man. He is obviously one of those filmmakers that goes down in history, obviously. He's a Canadian filmmaker who resides in New Zealand, a major figure in the post-New Hollywood era. His films have grossed over 8 billion worldwide, making him the second highest grossing film director of all time. And obviously, the first one that is Steven Spielberg, my goat, the guy himself, obviously, with Jurassic Park, E.T. They're just my inspirations, man. Steven Spielberg, he's just fantastic. And I don't know how, I don't know why, but my teachers back in high school, when obviously I still had this film studies, they said, you should study the greats like Martin Scorsese and obviously those other ones. But they never specifically said Steven Spielberg, James Cameron. And I was so let down by that because I think Steven Spielberg is also such an interesting character. And, obviously they're the big iconic directors. Obviously, James Cameron did a lot of different things. Obviously, born in Kapuskasing in Canada, I believe. So hopefully that's right, that pronunciation. So okay, Cameron enrolled at Fullerton College and then studied at the USC Library. He began his career with the 1978 short film Xenogenesis, but he first gained recognition for writing and directing science fiction action film The Terminator. Then he did Aliens, The Abyss, Terminator 2, The True Lies, Avatar 2009, obviously Titanic, and obviously Ghosts of the Abyss, Aliens of the Deep, and The Way of Water, which is interesting and very, very cool. So obviously, Avatar, The Way of Water, and Titanic are amongst the top 4 highest grossing films of all time, with Avatar on the top spot and Avengers Endgame 2019, directed by Anthony and Joe Russo. In second place, Cameron directed the first film to gross over 1 billion, the first 2 films to gross over 2 billion each, and is the only director to have had 3 films gross over 2 billion each. He is also an environmentalist and runs several sustainability businesses. Hey, the quote! Yeah. Holy shit, that's insane. So, he's currently 70 years old, which is interesting. I think that's right. Yeah, that is. So, he's currently 70 years old. I think by the time, Avatar 5 releases, that's 2031, he'll be around, 76. So, that's insane. That's very old. But hey, if he's still up to do the sequels, I'm down. I'm really down. And I really can't wait to see what's next for the Avatar films. Like, the films look beautiful as hell. The story itself, it's interesting. Like, I don't know, like, people don't really talk about Avatar too much, but still, Avatar is very popular. In my region, Avatar is still, very cool, and a lot of people like it. But, like, the special effects done, it's brilliant. So alright, ladies and gentlemen, hopefully you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And I will check you later. Goodbye, everyone.